Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Three Peaks Podcast. I'm Coach Lynette.
I'm Coach Mark.
Hey, did that throw you off? There we go. Trying something new. Awesome. All right, so we have a really fun topic. We're going to talk about examples of people who have made progress through practice.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have lots of different clients that come in here, and everyone has similar goals, but we're going to talk about the difference between clients who are successful and clients who are kind of stuck.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and there's some things that all of the super clients have in common. So and so if you want to be, really successful and really make a difference in your health and fitness, then you're going to find out right now.
Yeah. This is kind of a piggyback episode off of our last podcast where we talked about viewing fitness as a skill and how important, just how important it is that you are, doing something every day. The more frequently you're working out, the better your results are going to be. And so, today we're going to include some examples from members here in our gym, starting off with the so-called beast of the box. Every gym's got one,
yes.
Right? The beast of the box. Ours, his name is Nate.
Yes.
And
so when he came here, he was not the beast of the box.
No.
When he first came here, he's very different than he is now.
Yeah. He was definitely, he was still definitely on a mission. But he weighed more. He wasn't in quite as good a shape, and it's funny. I think we were watching that one video of him when around the time when he first started doing stepovers.
Yes,
and
he moved a lot slower.
A lot slower compared to now, where he's just basically jumping over the box.
He defies gravity.
But he's someone who's been consistently 4 days a week. And he runs outside of his normal workouts for over a year. Man, how long has it been? Like a year, almost a year and a half.
Yeah,
I think that he's been working out regularly 4 days a week, and so it's no surprise that he has gotten the results that he has.
Yeah, and we've done an interview with him if you want to listen to his podcast, Nate Lundstrom. But he has a desk job. He's a busy parent. He has a lot of different interests, a lot of things going on in his life, but he has made this happen in his life. He's made this a priority. He's made fitness just part of who he is and what he does. And that's one key thing. I think some people have heard about this, the identity change that needs to happen when you want to be successful in your fitness. Instead of saying, "Oh, I need to go work out to get into shape," you need to, that might be a way to start out, but eventually your identity needs to change. Like, I am a person who works out. This is who I am. This is what I do. And the reason why that needs to happen is that will influence your decisions. So people like Nate, when things come up, he's like, "No, that's when I work out.
Yep.
No, I've got this, because that's who I am. This is what I do."
So important.
And so other things are not going to impinge on that as much when you're like, "Oh no, I can't. I'm not available for that."
Yeah.
So
that's kind of going off what you're saying. It reminds me of how Anuja is as well.
Yes.
The second client that we're kind of talking about. She's very she'll be the first person to tell you, like, "Oh, if I miss my workouts, like I don't, I feel like I have to make it to my work." And she is also 4 days per week, but she was working out like every day. She was working out every day for a while.
For a while.
She got great results, and she's got an engine. Like she doesn't get tired. Like she just keeps going, and she's in great shape now. And it's because she has that mindset that you were just talking about. Like it's part of her identity. It's who she is now. She's a person who works out, and so it's not a matter of will I work out? It's how will I work out?
Yeah, and something Nate and Anuja have in common is they track their progress. And so they both will write down, "Oh, what did I do last time I squatted at this pace?" Because we do tempo training in here. And they'll say, "Oh, well, what can I do this time to make it a little bit better?" Sometimes that's more weight. Sometimes it's a slower lift. Sometimes it's maybe I can go a little deeper. But they like to look at their progress. It's not like they're chasing numbers, but they are aware.
Yeah.
They're aware of how they're doing. Like, "Oh, I'm going going a little deeper on this, or they pay attention to their progress.
Yeah. And then just kind of moving on. So another person who we wanted to mention is Liz, and her situation is actually a little bit different. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that's really cool about Liz is, she's very consistent, but her schedule maybe isn't as consistent as, other people's, in that some weeks she has, this going on with this kid or that going on with that kid. It's
the early morning swim team thing.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. But she still finds a way to make it in to the gym and stay active.
Yes.
And, in a lot of ways that's harder than if you have a consistent schedule every day where you can, I know I'm going to be able to make it to the gym.
Yeah.
It's more difficult when your schedule is kind of all over the place. But again, she's made it a priority. It's a priority to her. It's something that's important.
Yeah.
And so she makes time for it.
Right. So she does what I call, planning ahead. Mm-hmm. And so she looks at her week. Anuja does this too. They look at their week and they schedule their workouts.
Yeah.
And it's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
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 So.
And then next we've got your husband.
Yes, Mike.
Mike.
Oh, okay. This is a huge success story because although he does not, he doesn't look like he's about to go on be on the cast of, what do you call it, Baywatch or anything like that. But he came in here, his functionality was really low when he came in. He had a frozen shoulder and really, really tight hips. And so this has been a long journey for him. So yes, he did lose a ton of weight, but the thing that we're most excited about is he just last week went and babysat a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old all by himself. He's in his mid-50s, and he had no problem playing piggyback, helping with the couch gymnastics. Like, he was able to do all the things. Like, his body was not in the way of taking care of 2 active toddlers by himself for 5 days.
That's no joke.
Right. So that's a huge success story.
Yeah.
But yeah, his goal is longevity. He wants to really live a long time to enjoy all of the money that he's been saving up in the retirement program. So everyone thinks about saving up money for their retirement, but they don't think about how to prepare their body for their retirement. So got to prepare both things.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's good to invest in your 401k, but you also got to invest in your body.
You've got to get your body ready to enjoy all that money. Mm-hmm. So so he started out just 3 days a week, but now he's upping that up to 4. He'd really like to do 5 or 6 days a week because the older you get, the more frequently you need to work out.
Right.
And so that number's going up. It's a little tough with the work schedule, but Mike's like Liz, where he can't always do the same time of day every day, which would be ideal, but he has to, make it happen, make it a priority. And there's other things he gives up to come in here. There's other things that are not happening, like the house isn't as clean as it could be. It's a conscious decision, and he's like, no, I'd rather, I just need to take care of this body.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's appropriate prioritization.
Yes.
Your health is more important than making sure your house is perfectly tidy 24/7.
Yeah. Floors aren't quite as shiny.
Yeah.
The gutters don't look the best, but it'll happen, right?
Yeah.
So, it's important because your body isn't going to wait. Mm-hmm. The dishes will wait, but your body won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then next up we got Andrea.
Oh, Andrea's really fun.
Yeah, her story is pretty cool. So when she came in here, she I hope she's okay with me saying this, but when she first came in here, right, her upper body, we needed.
Oh my gosh.
She needed to work on her strength. Okay, so she wasn't really able to, lift even 10 pounds up overhead.
She was a long distance runner.
She's a runner,
and she had already lost 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Just running.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But no upper body strength.
Yeah, no upper body strength. But over time, with the consistency, she comes in only a couple of days a week, but she's running on the other day. So she's working out almost every day. Now she's pressing plenty of weight up overhead, and she's gotten stronger, and her core's gotten stronger, and it's been really cool to see her movements improved tremendously.
Yeah.
And so, she's, I guess, kind of in another category from the other people we're talking about, in that, she makes it into the gym a couple of days per week. She's active outside of the gym. And so it's a perfect example of how, you can make progress without fitness having to be your entire life.
Yeah.
Right. Like
got a lot going on.
Yeah, you got a lot going on. You just got kids. Like you know, you just. I guess I'm sensing a common theme. You just have to make it a priority. It just has to be important enough to you.
There's and something she and Liz have in common is they are students of fitness. They're really cute.
All right, we're back. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties.
All right. Yes. So Liz and Andrea are students, so they like to study the things that we teach them here in the gym. So if we mention something about shoes or knees or whatever the thing is, that they like to go and study that outside. Like you don't have to do that, but it's something common that we see with some of our more successful clients is that they're curious about, okay, why is this movement important, or why is it important that I push my knees out when I squat? Like why do we do that? A lot of whys. So
well, I think there's something to that because the more it's similar to like the sunk cost fallacy, right? So the more money you put into something, the more important it becomes to you, right? Same thing with information. The more I know about something, the more important it becomes to me, the more relevant it becomes to me. So researching the why and kind of like looking up things on your own is a good way to sort of integrate yourself into fitness, right? What are you curious about? Look it up, and you'll become more and more interested in fitness. It will become more and more significant in your life.
Yeah. And then they come back like, hey, I read this. And then they ask for our feedback. Like, well, what do you think of this? Because there's a lot of conflicting information out there. So I really like it when they come back and go, I read this. What do you think of that? What's your take on it?
Yeah.
So
it's
really good. So then we have, Danielle
and Tanasia. So they're best friends. They came in, man, I can't remember when. Definitely over a year ago.
It was December last year.
Oh, so it's been like a year.
Yeah, I think they joined during Christmas time.
That's joined. Right. You're right. So they came in. They made tremendous progress. They did. So they were really consistent, working out 3 days per week.
Yes.
And working with Lynette and Dan with their habits, their healthy habits, and their nutrition and stuff like that.
Yeah. They learned a lot. They did. They learned a lot in the program.
They killed it. They lost a lot of weight, got really fit and really good shape. Something that's really cool about them is they figured out a way to use that, partner accountability.
Yes.
It's like, okay, like let's do this together. And that's something that can be really helpful, especially if you're someone who struggles with that self-motivation.
Yeah.
Having someone who you are like, hey, like, let's go. Let's do this.
Together.
It's going to help you stay more consistent.
It does help when you got that other person there. It helps you show up more often and help you make better decisions when no one's looking.
Yeah, right.
So it's good. Yeah, that's super helpful with consistency, which is so key.
Yeah.
So, and then
last but not least, who's Lynette?
Oh,
who's
Lynette? Wait, before that strange person, we have Phil.
Oh, Phil.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Okay.
Yeah. So he comes in. He's a sort of a beast of the gym too, right? Beast of the box. He comes in and he likes to really challenge himself. Here's something he likes to do in class that a lot of successful gym goers do is they're not just in it for themselves. They're also are interested in other people doing well too. So he will often encourage people like, maybe you could do a little bit harder version of a push-up, or, he'll challenge people like, oh, is that the hardest version that you could do? If someone's thinking about going a little heavier, he was like, hey, nothing wrong with trying it, So yeah, he's really interested in helping other people succeed too. So that's another thing that we see.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, kind of helping to further sort of integrate yourself into fitness by, hey, I've had this amount of success. Let me try to help the next person along,
He's also kind of a foodie. So sometimes at the end of the workout, we'll say, all right, what's everybody having for dinner? And he's always got the really nice meal planned. Like he plans his meals and he cooks really nice food. It always sounds like it tastes good. Like it's highly nutritious, but it always sounds like it's something that's going to taste good. Like I want to eat at Phil's house. So very cool. All right. And then, last one is me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I showed up in here with very low function, a lot of injuries, and a lot of extra weight on me from a lack of activity. I was a long distance runner. So I came in 3 days a week to start with, and then increased the frequency as my skill level went up and activity level went up. And I definitely felt the energy level skyrocket as I increased my frequency of working out. So I try to put a lot of these things in practice that these other super successful clients have in place, and it's the reason why I went into this industry is my interest in helping others do well. But one thing that helped me was when I first came in here and met with you, like I thought it was a lost cause at the time. And I was like, I remember feeling like, I don't know if you remember me saying this, I'm like, I feel like a broken down war horse. Like I'm done. And you said, I was like, I don't know if you can work with me. I'm so injured. I'm so, I got so many things wrong. And you just had no doubt, like, no, you can do this. Like, of course we can do this. Like, it was like, why would you even question this? Of course you can do this. So I kind of borrowed that for a while until I saw it in myself. And then the identity started to change that we talked about earlier. I'm like, oh, I'm no longer trying to get in shape. I'm just a person who exercises. And so it was no longer appearance based. Like 2 or 3 months in, I flipped a switch from I'm trying to get skinnier to I just work out because that's what I do. It's just part of my life. And so that's when it just really took off. And then I was no longer worried about the body image really increased. Even though I'd only lost a few pounds, the body image really increased because I knew I was taking good care of myself. I was making good decisions, so it didn't matter how I looked. The weight did still keep coming off, but when the weight loss becomes a side effect of what you're doing rather than the purpose of what you're doing, it gets way more satisfying. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know if there's anything else we want to.
No, I mean, I would say so all of these people that we've talked about today have had tremendous success, and we're very proud of them, and they've worked really hard for the success that they've gotten. Some of the common threads between all of them is, they're not fixated on weight. Yeah. They're fixated on getting better at fitness. Yeah. Like they just want to get better at fitness. They all have a sense of curiosity. Yeah. Like, hey, like, why, what's the reasoning behind this? And they kind of all tend to look things up and sort of do their own research and in the areas that they're interested in.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and then, lastly, and probably most importantly is that they're very consistent with their workouts, and they work out 3, 4, 5 days a week, and that consistency is what has, in my opinion, contributed the most to their fitness success.
Consistent and frequent. So these clients are not coming in once or twice a week. Yeah, they're coming in 3 to 6 days a week. Yeah. So it's high frequency, high consistency, and they don't take vacations. So if they have to travel for work or for a family trip, they are doing something while they're away. It doesn't, they don't have to go to a gym and lift heavy on vacation, but they have a plan in place for what they're going to do while they're away. Yeah. So there really is no time. The body does not lay on the beach for a week doing nothing. And another really interesting thing is they're willing to do less when they need to. Instead of just stopping, like, I've got a little sniffle, or I've got this, or something. Like, I think I did tweaked my back or whatever. They just figure out a way to work around it. Like, I need to do lower weights. I've got a race tomorrow. I'm going low on the weights today. I'm going to just take it easy. So they're willing to do less so that they can keep going. Yeah, they have a really extended time horizon. Yeah. Like, it's not like I need to lose 30 pounds in 3 months. It's like, I just work out and I want to be in good shape. And you have different goals and stuff, but it's like a big picture view. Yeah, it's like, this is just what I do. Yeah. It's not just this phase of life. This is just what I do. Yeah. So, good. Guys, hopefully one of these people
kind of resonates with you and where you're at, and hopefully it was helpful, and we will talk to you next time.
All right, bye-bye.